Hello and welcome back to the channel, here for yet another league race, this time in the Benbo Gaming League or Championship. And we're at Baku today. We're in Azerbaijan, Baku City, here for round number 6, I think it is, of 10. So absolutely flying through the scores. I missed last week in France because I was asleep, but we don't talk about that. But we are currently leading the championship as it stands, with 2 wins and 2 second places. And of course, as I mentioned, last week's DNS. But we're here at Baku anyway, you can see there. First flying lap, and well, we invalidate it to turn 12. A little weave and frustration as well, really just at myself. So we appeared at the end of that lap, went back out, and managed to settle on 39.7 for our first lap. This put us in P3 at the time, still P3 now. As you can see behind Jerome on mediums, he is absolutely rapid. It's almost scary how quick some people are. So now as we prepare to go back out, we've dropped down to P4. But we're going to try again anyway. As I said, 2 runs. Of course, this one needed a 3rd run, but the 2nd run was on the same tyres. I literally came into the pits, waited for the game to sort itself out, and then as soon as I had the option, straight back out onto the track, ready to send it once more. So now coming up to start finish line to start my 2nd lap, technically my 3rd lap. So head down across the start finish line to turn 1, of course, using pretty much all of the track there. Time took a little bit too late, could have gone a little bit earlier. Got bad to rotation. And through turn 2, felt like I nailed that one. Again, could have been a little bit close to the apex, don't want to touch it there, otherwise you're going to launch your car. Then down into turn 3, don't want to touch the curb under braking because you'll just lock the tyre. Again, you don't really want to touch that inside curb, but if you clip it right you can gain time. And turn 4, I was finally getting car rotation there, it's been a while. Took a purple sector 1 but turned in a little bit too early for turn 5. So lost a little bit of time. I don't think it was purple sector 1. As you'll see when we get to the end of the lap, we're coming up now through turn 7. Turning in pretty much a little bit too early, but then sort of adjusting to cut that corner as close as you can without getting a penalty. See, a little bit more cautious through turn 12 to just avoid cutting it again. Last thing I wanted was to ruin this lap. It would have been my last attempt, didn't have time to go back for more fuel. Noah gets out of the way nicely there, but it does distract me, so we lock up narrowly, avoid the wall on the outside. Probably do hit it to avoid damage. There was a little bit of a distraction, but of course nothing wrong with what Noah did. Then power out to turn 16, you can see we're just over 2 tenths up. So heading through this flat out couple of corners now, missed both apexes because that's just how we rolled. And then through the final corner there, if you want to count turn 20 as a corner. Straight run now all the way to the line, DRS open as well. With a minute left, then we come up and over the line to go into P4. We find 4 tenths exactly. And yeah, we don't gain any places, and then we just don't slow down for turn 1 either. I thought I can either crash into the wall here, or I can just take the escape road. You know, it's there, you might as well use it. As you can see there, it's P4 in the end for us, so luckily no one else set a time to beat us. But still 7 tenths. 3/4 of a second exactly, I think, off of P1, which is not good enough. Considering how I started the season with, I think, 3 back-to-back pole positions. And then 3rd in America, missed last week, and now we're 4th. So our pace is slowly deteriorating, but we're not going to let that get in our ways. The 5 lights are on. And we're racing here in Baku once again. Quite a good reaction to the lights. And we also pull up alongside Noah in that fry into turn 1, however a little bit blocked by Hindle, so Noah can just drive all the way around our outside. We have a little look into turn 2, but again in the end we just moved over a little bit. So we go around the outside at turn 2, get a little bit squeezed towards the wall, but we just about survived there up into P3. Tried to close across the door on Noah, but they physically couldn't without there being contact. So we have to try and outbrake him into turn 3, which we manage around the outside. And then he finally backs out now, coming into 4. But once again tries a little bit of a switch back, to which we have to park the car. Pretty much tell him no without any verbal communication, and then throw the car into the middle sector.
Alright, we're looking good so far.
If you've been here for a while, you probably know starts are not my strong suits. I tend to gain, I tend to lose positions at the start. But they are getting probably not noticeably, but they are getting slightly better, I can tell. I'm not bogging down as much as I used to. You can see now the rest of this first lap was pretty much trying to catch back up. So the two up front, of course, Noah and I going side by side for turn 2 and 3. Definitely made us lose a little bit more time.
Safety car,
As we then get our first safety car off the race. I say first, I'm going to leave that number a mystery as to how many we get. But let's just say this race took a while to complete, hence the title of this video.
Confirmed, we'll receive you at the end of this lap.
See there, we take the initiative to pit this lap, get off these soft tyres. Make a very late call into the pit lane. Hindle, I think, tried to bait us, but I was pushing no matter what. And I think we're going to be going on to the hard tyres. I think, can't entirely remember. Yes, we are. Now these tyres were horrible.
Exit now.
The plan was to go on them anyway, but obviously I don't expect safety cars, despite it being Baku.
Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on
The
this
safety
compound.
cars are probably more common here than Monaco potentially, because it is a faster track in general. But I didn't entirely expect safety cars, especially on lap 1. But these things happen, you just have to adjust when you get the opportunity. The replay of the start, you can just see tyre smoke popping up from everyone. Into turn 1, you can see Jerome and Noah could take a lot more speed around there than either Hindle or myself could, obviously, as we were stuck to the inside. That's all the highlights showed, so that's all we have, unfortunately. And now we're waiting behind Jerome, ready to get going. Noah was very aggressive on the safety cars. I think I've noticed it before, but on the safety car he pretty much sits on your diffuser, and then he pretty much just drives alongside you when you're getting going. So, you know, coming down into turn 1, he did alongside. He probably would have overtaken me before if he was allowed. Outbreak himself a little bit into turn 1. Obviously he's on softer tyres, so he's able to just hold that gap or brake later. You see, we weave quite aggressively over to the left just to cut Panda off in that Renault, because I think if he had also pulled alongside me into turn 2, it would have been a catastrophe of a start. See, we were pushed a little bit wide at turn 1 there, and we had to quite aggressively cut back to the left. Now 1 lap later, I believe, coming down towards turn 1, Panda goes down the outside. We of course go defensive, and then it's turn 1. He pretty much isn't completely ahead of me, but we outbrake him. I noticed he backed out, which is why I kind of drove to the wall there on the outside. I didn't entirely see the point of leaving space if he wasn't going to be there. It's something I am prone to doing, and I like lose time to it. So I'm trying to be more aggressive at defending. Simply just to try and save myself losing time or positions or anything. But you can see there, into turn 3, if you do watch the mirrors, Panda just hit the wall. They literally just drove straight into the wall. Which brings up safety car number 2 here on lap 5.
Make sure to keep it positive.
Only 1 car out of the race so far. To the end of the lap, Jerome finally comes into the pit lane and puts on... What tyre is he going to put onto? No idea. I think he put on hard tyres, but they may be mediums. I'm sure he'll pop up in the top 5 fairly soon. So keep an eye on that. But to the top left, you can see now roles have reversed between Noah and I. I'm now the driver behind, coming down to for the restart. As once again, he just completely leaves me for dead. Another thing I really need to work upon is safety car restarts when I'm not leading, because I just always get dropped. You see into turn 1, Hinder was a little look up my inside, so we do leave the space just in case he stuck his nose there. I wasn't too sure where his car was. And then into turn 2, nice and tidy. Just trying to keep this gap really. A lot of wheel spin on the exit of turn 2. At the corner you have to get a good exit, but in order to do so you destroy your rear tyres. Down on the brakes and into turn 3, Hinder tries around the outside. Turns across me a little bit, but there's just about enough space for us to fit through there with, I think, very mild contact. But now we're just losing time to those guys. Of course, both on the mediums. Now Jerome behind on mediums does have a time penalty. Not sure what that was for, can't really remember. So Hindle sets the fastest lap. We now have to deal with Jerome behind us. And he sets the fastest lap there. We went a little bit defensive into turn 1, just to stop him sending it really. And you can see he gets on the inside into turn 2. We have to just about hold around the outside. And then we do just about get our car ahead on the straight, so we managed to pull across the front of him to the inside. But in a straight line, he would have got a slightly better exit, I think, once the initial phase was done. And then, of course, has the grip on the mediums. He holds it all the way around the outside. Gives him the inside for turn 4. Squeezed us a little bit. But I just conceded that place. So my plan is to go to the end here. I don't really want to fight and lose too much time. As you can see here, he pretty much just had the speed on me. I think I had DRS though. I think he overtook me into turn 2 just before the detection line. Detection line, not design.
Full course caution.
But now on lap 10 as we head down to the line.
We need to keep it positive to
Safety car number 3, a little bit naughty of me there. I cut across the pit entry line. I don't really know why. I never normally do that. But I guess you're just in the moment, isn't it? You just take these advantages if they come. Nothing was said before the race. You had to stick in the line. So I think if it was said before, I wouldn't have done it. But I think simply because nothing was said about it in my head, it was fine to do because I pretty much did it without thinking. So we paired onto mediums there to ideally take to the end of the race. Head down to someone. You can see we actually jumped up into P2. So pitting that lap earlier somehow allowed us to jump 2 cars, that being Noah and Jerome. No idea how, but that's just how things go. On to lap 13 anyway. You can see another safety car restart. This time behind Hindle. Noah behind us once more. And Hindle was very intelligent with how he played this. He used all of the brain he had. And you'll see here, when I tried to overtake him here, then as soon as I hit the brakes to not overtake him, he bolts. And even at the time, I wasn't even annoyed. I was like, ah, you clever little sod.
Okay, clear.
But oh well. Let's come down into turn 1 anyways. Usually we seriously defending from Noah. Forced us to go a little bit defensive. A little bit of contact there, I just didn't really realise. Once we come into turn 2, lock up on the front tyres, go a little bit deep just to avoid the wall. And Noah just sneaks past us off the inside. A little bit annoying there. These things, you know, you make a mistake, you get punished for it. Especially on a restart when everyone is so close. You can see now Jerome has served his penalty for whatever it was, I'm not actually too sure. We are over halfway now through the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Replay of that restart. You can see there, pretty much identical line from all of that top 5, pretty much everyone. Then into turn 2 you can just see lock the inside left. Noah even locked up as well to avoid hitting me, but still got the better rotation. And now the end of that lap, the virtual safety car comes out, quite that very short. So it may have been possible to miss that if I caught a shot at it. But VSC did come out for, I think, and this was my teammate and one of the Renaults, which came in the first lap going on the next lap, so not really too big of an issue. And now on lap 16 as we head down towards turn 3. Safety car numero 4. It's now 4, we've had this race. The end of that lap, then we make a very late cruise dive into the pit lane. And we're putting on soft tyres for this stop. Same as Jerome behind, I believe he puts on softs as well. That was a legal pit entry as well. So it's all good.
Go, go, go. You'll be racing on the exit.
Yeah.
Go, go, go.
For some reason I thought he didn't pit. Even Hindle messed me after the race and was like, ah, yeah. Probably should have pit. He would have won if he pitted on the soft set essentially.
One stop left in this strategy.
But that's just how these things go. We now wait for the restart. This time we have Matty in front, Jerome behind. And now we're saying this, I have just realised I've said that Hindle doesn't win this race. It's a little bit of a spoiler, but oh well. We are now down towards turn 1. A lot better restart compared to what we've had before. Matty on the medium tyres. I knew I had more grip, so I just absolutely send it around the outside.
We're approaching the pit window.
And then I think he hit me a little tap onto the rear of my car. I've just seen Jerome has another time penalty. Not sure what that's for. And now as we head down towards turn 1, up 19 this time, right up behind Noah. We have Jerome right behind us as well. He's getting a double slipstream, so he's got an even greater top speed than I have. On to Noah, we have a little look towards the inside, but have to defend from Jerome then as Noah locks up, goes a little bit deep. So we have to react quite quickly there to get that initiative to make that move. Now back up into P2 in this race, and eyes set on Hindle in the Alfa Romeo up ahead, who currently possesses the fastest lap. See Noah having to defend from Jerome there down to turn 3. I was very aware that Jerome was coming down the inside, but I had no intention of leaving him space. Quite simply, if he was going to make that move then, he had to be up alongside me. But I believe he still got the move on Noah. As you can see, very nearly 3 wide. There. But it is just 2 wide in the end. As we head on to lap 21 now, so 5 laps left, or 5 and a bit, if we're going to be technical. Right up behind Hindle, Jerome right up behind me. Noah may have picked up damage, or it might just be his tyres not having the same grip. But right now we're in the slipstream with Hindle. We have the engine on rich mix. We're using battery that we need to. DRS now open as well. We're closing off on Alfa Romeo very quickly. Darting to the right hand side, of course. Jerome makes it 3 wide. We are the latest of the late breakers. Hook it around the outside of Hindle, now up into P1 in this race. Jerome tried to make it 3 wide there. I think realised being on the inside there was not going to end well for him. But what a spectacular shot that is if we hook it all the way around the outside. Had superior grip to Hindle at least. There was a break later. Coming out up on lap 25 to set the fastest lap of the race again.
That was the fastest lap of the race.
You can see behind, Hindle still in second. He did an absolute masterclass of defending. He probably won me this race. That doesn't matter. We come up to the line to take our 3rd win of the season and extend our championship lead by 7 points. I believe Hindle is still in second, and as always, we are walking like an Egyptian onto that podium. As I said, masterclass in defending from Hindle. It really was. If Jerome had gotten past him, as you can see, he had a penalty, so Noah took the podium. But if Jerome had gotten past Hindle, he would have caught and probably passed me. But that will be it for this video. Hope you've enjoyed. Do leave a like and subscribe as well, helps me out massively and makes me want to continue, essentially. Of course, feel free to drop any comments down below. I will read and reply to them if necessary. That is it from today, and I'll hopefully catch you tomorrow with the next one. See you then.